Sometimes people are really scared when they hear someone say, I have a mental illness. Sometimes I like to fake sneeze on the bus and be like, oh, did you catch it? Hi, my name's Gwen. I have a mental illness. When I was about 7, I realized that I just wasn't happy. I had a really hard time making friends. I had a really hard time just going to school and being a little kid. And it's a hard realization at the age of 7 that you know you're not happy. So being unhappy, feeling like you're all alone, feeling like no one loves you, those are all classic signs of depression. But I didn't know what depression was till I was about 13. And I was in junior high, and I crammed all the smelly grade 7s into the band room. And they did a presentation on depression. And the nurse came in and said how terrible life was gonna be with depression. And I got this sinking feeling in my chest that my life was gonna be less than the people around me. And that was sort of the beginning of the Never List.
My name is Lauren Rodriguez. I'm 24 years old and I'm living with mental illness. I moved here when I was 8 years old. It was really hard for me because I didn't know anyone. I came here with a Pakistani culture. I had an accent. I dressed differently. I talked differently. I got bullied for basically everything that I was coming to Canada as a kid. I think that's when my social anxiety started, when I got bullied.
My name's Keith McIsaac and I'm 25 years old. I was diagnosed with a mental illness a year ago. I had dealt with depression since my late teens, and when I became manic, I thought that was how I was supposed to normally feel because I finally wasn't feeling depressed anymore. I was excited about everything. I wanted to learn new things and be involved in everything. For about a month, I was really energized and started having business ideas and thought I could accomplish anything. I decided that university wasn't what I wanted to pursue, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And I think the stress of that, along with copious amounts of drug use and alcohol, led to my hospitalization.
I remember breaking down in tears and saying, Mom, I think I probably have depression. And she said, oh, no, you're just a teenager. You started a new school, you started a new program at school, and you have all these new people around you, and you probably just haven't made any friends. And you need to think positive. Well, telling someone with a mental illness to think positive, to make themselves better, is like telling someone with diabetes to just make insulin because they can think about it. Things started to go downhill, and my mom said, okay, time for a little action on this. And I went and saw a therapist, but she was doing her sort of residency program, and I felt like she just didn't have a clue.
I was not talking to anyone, not keeping in touch with my friends or family. I just shut everybody out. It felt like I couldn't breathe, but I could see everybody moving around me. And I tried to hide it from everyone, like not tell anyone and bottle it up.
When I was hospitalized, they said that I might be bipolar. And it wasn't until 2 months later, when I had moved back to Alberta and was living with my parents, that I saw a psychologist for the first time since being in the hospital. And they told me that I was bipolar. So it came as a bit of a shock, and that's when I started to go into depression again.
I was not talking to anyone, not keeping in touch with my friends or family, and I got diagnosed in December 2014.
By the time I was 16, it was quite apparent that I needed much more help than I had been getting. So I went and saw someone at the IWK. I had a great, encouraging sense of, you can do this.
I've been an active member at Langhouse, which has proven to be very beneficial to my mental health.
One of the places that's helped me be strong, become strong, and stay that way has been Langhouse.
I recently joined Langhouse, being a member, trying to just be myself, who I was before I got sick.
The staff at Langhouse really provide the resources and the knowledge about services in the community that can help me. And I'm very lucky to have Lang as part of my support group.
With that nevertheless shortening up, it's been such a joy to discover the things that I can do.
I moved out from my parents and I'm living with my fiance, and I'm currently working full-time with seniors with mental illness.
All these doors opened up for me when I started taking care of myself. And although there have been definite ups and downs, for better or for worse, I've made it through so much, and I'm so strong.
Coming to Langhouse and working with peer support workers and seeing how they've thrived and lived with their mental illness, it's really been refreshing to me. And it's shown me that you can have a life and be a normal person while living with a mental illness.
If I had to give you one message, and only one, I would say, when things get bad, reach out. No one is gonna fault you for asking for help when things get really bad. And you're worth it.